Is Jack Grealish finished? Is Jack Grealish finished? Not like finished ordering beer. Like, is he done? Kaput. Finito. There is no more of top flight Jack Grealish. The stats say so, but my gut feeling is no. It's kind of crazy that Jack Grealish has been left out of the Manchester City squad for the Club World Cup. And his form this season is something, or lack thereof, is something to talk about. There's also movement going on. You know what? Real Madrid making moves. Other clubs and other leagues making moves, specifically Galatasaray. So I thought, you know what? Let's do this transfer roundup evening show thing where we're for 30 minutes just talking and seeing what is going on, because there's clearly nothing going on at Man United. So, yeah, my name is Botswana. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk, man. Football Power Hour!
Winning it again for Manchester United.
So the first question of the day, before we get into it, I want to big up everybody that is in the building. Shout out to Nick, shout out to Faith, shout out to Riri, shout out to Joe Blackman. Big up to you. Yo, Nick said big up yourself, Nick. Hope that you're doing well. I bet you're now on Thursday. And yeah, you're almost done with the week, you know. Big up yourself, big up Faith, saying friend zone. Hey, man, friend zone is a good zone. You know why? Because you can break out the friend zone, you know? I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way, Faith, but I got faith. Second show of the day. Yes, I said this, Riri. We're going to start doing shows in the evening as well. This week, the main aim is 3 shows at least. Big up, Jose. I'm convinced you don't respect me or your channel. I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't respect me or the channel. Nah, I said this earlier on, and I think, I guess I just got to keep repeating it. We are going to have evening shows. So, you know, this is part and parcel of what we're going to do in the summer. And ideally 5 days a week. But we're going to try and see how things are going. You know, oh, Joe, I wrote to you about 5 hours ago, my broski. Check your messages. Check your messages. So, okay, let's talk about what is going on, because Leroy Sane is set to fly to Istanbul as new Galatasaray player, and he will land tonight. This is an update from Fabrizio Romano. He says here's Sane with his agent. We'll take a picture. We'll take a look at his how he looks, but he looks happy. He looks like he got a better agent than Victor Gyökeres. Maybe Gyökeres needs to fire his agent. Look at that. Craziness. Galatasaray is making moves so big. Shout out to Galatasaray. Honestly, they got some pull. They're making moves. For a team that has what's his name? Osimhen. They had Osimhen this season. And here they are, obviously knowing that they're on the brink of losing Osimhen, and they they don't take winning the Turkish league for granted. They go on and just say, listen, we want Leroy Sane, who I still believe is a good player, by the way. I don't think he's somebody that is all the way done, like Raheem Sterling done. But I want to know how you think about these two players in question, especially Jack Grealish, who the reason why for me, when I go back to Grealish, by the way, really quickly, I want to show you the stats that the guy has, and they don't look good, you know. Look at this: 2 GA just this past season, 4 GA 23-24 season. My God, this is diabolical. If this is what Pep Guardiola can do with Aston Villa's best player, I'm scared for Shaqiri, you know. Guys, 6 GA in 21-22 season. And you know how long City Jack Grealish has been at City? Since 2021. This has been his output at Man City the last 4 seasons. I might have to update my opinion. This is crazy numbers. And they paid 100. Did Pep break him on the alcohol? I think Pep led him to the alcohol. This guy is depressed, you know. And people write him off saying, yeah, you know what? He's up. Coutinho, matter of fact, you know, wasn't even planning on doing a calling thing. I need to hear you from you, Coutinho. Guys, quick reminder to hit the like button, but the link is in the chat. This is your player, you know. Look at how much you say Man United likes to mess players up, but I think these stats say something else. This guy, I swear, like if we signed him, he would have succeeded at Man United. Jack, he's the Man United type player. I don't know if maybe he was probably going to face pressures and resort to the alcohol again. I don't know, but something tells me that this guy, honestly, he has something. The reason he has something special to offer. He's not necessarily like somebody who's going to be a you know, career game changer for the club, but he's somebody that could have been a big, important piece. Let's see what he has done at Aston Villa since Coutinho is insisting we do that, because maybe that will give perspective. So, Jack Grealish at Aston Villa. The stats are right here. They're about to be on the screen in any second. I agree he went to the wrong team, says Nick. This is crazy. Look at this. 26 Premier League appearances for Aston Villa. I felt like it was more. In 2020, oh, okay, this was in 2020 and 2021 season, and he had 6 goals, 12 assists. That's looking like a good player to me, Coutinho. That's 18 GA. And then the season prior, 14 GA. So he was on the rise. Stats-wise, he was on the rise until Pep Guardiola and Man City scrubs just said, yo, here's a bottle of... Maybe he was celebrating too much from the success. I don't know. Javid, I'm not messing up the years. I'm literally... the first one here is 2020, 2021. That's 18 GA in the Premier League, because I like to look at the Premier League. That's the bread and butter, right? 2019, 2020, 8 goals, 6 assists. And I filtered by club what he's done for Villa. So I don't understand where I'm messing up. Bro?
What's up? What's up?
Your team is out here messing talents up.
No. He's one lost brother. He's one lost brother. Not only did he have an alcohol problem, he was talking to other women as well. A presenter in national TV.
How's talking to other women a bad thing?
Yeah, when he was with his missus as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
and a lot of the consensus is, look, I prefer Grealish over Doku, and there's like a split in the fan base over Grealish over Doku. And the thing is, I think he switched off after winning the treble. He won so much, and like you saw him after the interview, like he was emotional. I think he just got overwhelmed, and I think he was just basically done with football. Like he achieved so much in such a short space of time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so the
yeah.
hunger just goes. So let's hypothetically, maybe had he gone to United, then he probably had more hunger, because I'm not saying he would have still won some stuff, but he wouldn't have won so much in such a short space of time, in my opinion.
So you think he got overwhelmed
Yes,
with what?
working under
With
working
trophies or
under
instructions? Overwhelmed with what exactly? What do you mean?
working under Pep, and I would say the trophies as well. Working under Pep and the trophies, because let's be honest, if you win so much, you become complacent. You
He
become
was
complacent in any walk of life. If you
ah,
achieve so much, you become complacent.
nah, fam.
Up
I'm
to
not
you.
buying this.
Up to
Hold
you.
on
Up
a
to you.
second. Hold on, Coutinho. Let me come back to you. This is a crazy thing. He said Coutinho saying he was suffering from success. Nick says he don't want to be a player no more. Is there something? Is there some water in what Coutinho is saying? Shout out to you, Riri. I don't understand like how winning trophies will make you turn to alcohol.
I don't think he turned to alcohol winning trophies. I think he was already an alcoholic prior to winning the trophies.
Oh, okay, okay. And then it just got magnified at City because he's
Of
a legend.
course. I mean, at Aston Villa, what press is really like hounding down Aston Villa players, to be
Yeah,
fair? You know what
yeah.
I mean? It's not a big club, but when you go to a big club, you're gonna have press running after you, you know, from the time you wake up to the time you go back to sleep. You know what
Mm-hmm,
I mean? And
mm-hmm.
City is a big club.
But
It's considered to be a big club, I should say. So when he went to City, the paparazzi and and all of that, it changed. So
mhm.
his lifestyle became more in the public eye than when he was at Villa.
But you know,
You don't, the way he drinks, bots,
yeah,
you don't,
I
that
couldn't keep
doesn't,
up.
that doesn't, no, that doesn't come on just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing, Riri. This is why, like, I want to actually look at how we're talking about this conversation because we're using it about using alcohol as a hindrance to Jack Grealish furthering his career and reaching his potential. When there's other footballers who've had problems with alcohol and they've had illustrious careers, George Best, notably,
Yeah,
Maradona.
but okay, so there's such a
So,
thing as a functioning addict. So
okay.
then you have functioning addicts, and then you have people who have an addiction and cannot function. So they're like there's also people who function, high functioning people, people who are depressed.
Mm,
So
mm.
even though they're depressed, they're still high functioning. And then there are people who depression just knocks them down where they can't even get up out of bed. Like it's destabilizing.
Well,
So it all has to do with your mind. I
okay.
mean, look at that interview with Dali Ali,
Yeah,
and his struggles. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So it
yeah.
all has to do with, and those guys back in the day were built different, bots. Like they were, that was just a way of life for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, I hear it. But like you mean the alcohol hit differently then or like the but
I don't think the alcohol hit different. I just think they had to put food on the table, and the money wasn't the same type of money. It wasn't, they weren't getting paid the millions that these guys are getting paid now in this day and age.
yeah,
So it's easier for you to slack off and
yeah,
not put in a shift every time because you've already got that check and your
yeah,
family is somewhat set. Back in
yeah.
those days, you know you had to put the grind in because the paycheck wasn't, crazy money. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So you had to grind regardless if you had a vice. Whatever your vice was, you had to, even if you had a vice, you still had to, you know, make sure you got up and came to the practice field and put in
Yeah,
that shift, or game time, you're on that field and you're putting in a shift
I
because
hear it. I
that
hear
was
it.
your livelihood, you know what I mean? But these
Yeah,
guys now, they got these big contracts and, money in the bank. And like, to Condino's point, he
yeah.
probably won the treble and was just like, fuck it.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you hear that. I mean, if I think like even today, you remember Acerbi of
Hmm.
Inter Milan. He talked about that. He's currently playing and still suffering from alcoholism
Hmm.
at one point. And I'm just thinking like right now we're talking about it like it's a hindrance for this particular person, Jack Grealish. But like if he was actually a player who was meant to be who what his potential was, he would still function. He would still celebrate when it's celebration time and go crazy with the alcohol when it's off season, and then put
Hmm.
in the work when it's time to actually work.
I
Because there's
I
nothing
have a
wrong
que-
with working
I
partying
have a que-
hard. You know.
I have a question for Coutinho, but
Hmm.
Coutinho,
Yeah.
did he get a contract renewal at City at any point in time?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. Because what I was gonna say is, if he wasn't happy at City, he could have left at any point in time. He could have asked for a transfer. He could have asked to go to
Yeah, yeah.
another club.
Yeah.
If he wasn't happy with the minutes that he was getting, or coming off the bench, or whatever the case may be, he could
Mm.
have done like a Rashford, or he could have done like a Sancho, or he could have done like any of these other players that were like, you know what, I'm not getting what I want at this club. I'm
Mhm.
requesting, to be sold, or
Mm,
whatever the case may be. He never did he ever do
No,
that,
he didn't.
Continue?
He didn't.
Right.
No, he didn't.
Never did that.
yeah.
So you have to look at all of those variables. If you weren't happy, there were ways to get out of that and go
The
to a
thing is
club
with
where
when it comes apart from Bernardo Silva, if you're unhappy, you can leave. Simple as you can leave.
exactly.
As long as you get as
That
long
part.
as you can uh apart unless you get find us a if you find us a reasonable offer that we're happy with, then you can leave. You can leave. We don't hold you hostage. It's just when it comes to Bernardo Silva, he's like the teacher's pet. He's like
Mm,
Pep's long lost son. Because I
I
don't know
hear
what's
it.
the obsession with Bernardo Silva. So yeah.
Yeah. Let big up doctor, by the way, saying that
Yo, bots, I'm gonna go out and come back into StreamYard, okay?
no doubt, no doubt. Um, doctor, you were saying that he got too complacent or comfortable, and what if you're there, doctor?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. So I
Yeah,
was
what
saying
do
he
you
got
think happened with
comfortable.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially after. So especially after, he won the treble. Yeah, he got.
Mm,
They went on that one night of like drinking. That was what, 2 years ago, right? Or was
yeah,
it
Yeah,
yeah.
last year?
you saw like if you saw the pictures of the after party and then the morning after,
He was.
he was
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
he
drunk for
was he
days.
was he was
No, he was
like
drunk for days.
you
Like,
the
I could
entourage.
smell
So,
him
so,
from the
so
pictures.
there are like entourage who just look after the players just so they don't get into trouble, or they look at if everything's okay. They're dragging him out as if they're bodyguards. They're kicking him
Yeah,
out of the club.
and
Like it's actually that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
embarrassed. And also, yeah, do you know what? Him, continue. He said that he never got offered like
No,
a contract renewal, right?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
That
No.
go that goes into my next point. I feel like Pep and his everybody there knows he has drinking problems, and they probably gave him an ultimatum: fix up or you're not staying. He never
Mhm.
Mm,
fixed up. So that's why they never offered him another. And plus, his numbers aren't like he's just been playing horribly. And I hate one thing I hate is the fact that people, not just the media, but fans are saying, "Oh, he's better than this person." Okay, he's better than Bruno, and I'm like, no, he's not. You know,
Mm.
he had the potential.
Had the
His
potential.
potential was, when I tell you, he had the potential, but he
Yeah.
never reached the top.
Yeah. And is he done? Will he ever reach his potential or
I
not?
don't know.
He has to leave the bottle. He has to go to therapy. He definitely has to go to therapy, figure out what is the problem.
5K bill at a nightclub. But look at this. Partying with Jack Grealish is a bucket list item.
He's no. I'm sorry. Like, no offense. He's a degenerate. He's basically a degenerate.
5,000.
He's a degenerate.
5,000 for alcohol. That's crazy.
He's a degenerate. Simple as. He's a degenerate.
Do you know what? I'll put him in the same bracket as Kyle Walker. Both of them, cray.
Agreed.
In different worlds. One person is alcohol, one person is women.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's the same name.
So, is there a world where he could add something to a Man United squad? You know, in that number?
No.
You can have him. You can have him. Honestly, you can have him.
I don't even. I don't want. I don't
want with it.
Already, we United. Yeah, we have a problem of energy in the change room, and you want to bring Jack Grealish's energy to that? No, no.
Oh gosh, R10 says it's partially the pressure of the prices tag. So these 100 mil plus signings always find it difficult to cope with the pressure of the league. Not always, but I hear your point, R10. Declan Rice is different. Caicedo is different. You know?
How much did Anthony cost? Like 80 million, right?
80, yeah.
Because I recently, and also I won't lie, he too, his personal life became a craziness whilst he was in United, but that's valid.
Yeah.
So he, like, the pressure was so much on him, but I feel like one that has now been fixed, is resolved, I believe, so he can come back and do. That's if he wants to stay. You can come back and fix that.
Nah, run the peas for Anthony. What's wrong with you? Doc. I be going to bat for you, Doc. Now you come on here talking about if he wants to come back.
No, really.
Back,
I'm not. I want to run the piece. But if he doesn't go, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not. There's 16.
We gonna get the money. Betis is gonna pay us for him.
I'm standing by the 16 people going. So the first person has to be Shaw. Hell, do you know what?
Yeah, everybody's saying Shaw's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
If somebody came to me and asked me to choose between Tom Heaton and Luke Shaw staying, I choose Tom Heaton. And you people know how I do not like Tom Heaton. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I'm standing on
the only reason I would say Luke Shaw probably has to stay is because of the homegrown quota rule. It depends on how you're doing on the homegrown quota rule. So
we'll figure that out.
That was my only reluctance of letting go of Grealish. I don't care. I only care about the homegrown quotas.
Right. So Coutinho, is he out of contract or
no? I think he has about like 2-3 years left.
Damn, what kind of contract did he sign?
Let me check the transfer market. Jack Grealish.
Somebody has to come for him because it's at this point where
apparently Tottenham want him. Apparently Tottenham want him, and they're willing to pay upwards to £40 million.
I'm not even a City fan, and I want him to go. I'm like, yeah, it's not a good look.
I can't lie. No offense. I want as many I want to get rid of as many drinkers out of my club as possible. And that after losing that FA Cup final against you guys. I can't. Even if Rodri drinks, I want him out. Even if Rodri drinks, either you quit drinking or you go. Simple as. Like, go.
No,
Seriously,
because
he's gonna go
Remarks
to the
is
deck.
gone.
it's
He has
so
2 years left.
ironic
He has 2
because
years left. He has 2 years left. He has 2 years left. 2027, his contract ends.
Yeah, Spurs will be a good place for him if he ends up going there. Actually, that's fair. That's true. There is okay enough on Grealish. Do you like? I want. There's this other player, this new wonder kid, guys, that Real Madrid apparently just acquired.
Franco Mastantuono,
Mastantuono, yeah, Franco
yeah,
Mastantuono.
absolute
He'll,
baller, absolute.
will
baller.
reportedly become the most expensive sale in River Plate's history, and he
Mhm.
looks like he's gonna be a. He's somebody that Xavi Alonso had been.
yeah,
So it's crazy that all this young talent, it just flies always to Real Madrid, man. The Real Madrid pull is incredible. I'm looking at like what his
Brush. Do you know what I have against?
anything about it.
Do you know what I have against drinkers? Yeah, I know people who are close to me who drink, and it kind of hurts me when I see them drinking and they embarrass themselves, and it hurts me when I was younger. Second of all, whenever I'm around friends, I get alcohol spilled all over me. They do stupid things. They pour alcohol on my food, therefore I can't eat the food anymore. So that's why I don't really like alcohol. It kind of ruins the vibe for
What
myself.
kind of friends do you got, man? That's crazy.
The thing is, I've like friends
Yeah.
who I went to school with, and then within an hour or two, I just want to go home.
Bro, any friend that knows
That's
your
no.
religion and does some dumb shit like that is not a friend, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't.
I
That's why I
know.
don't really have. That's why I don't really have many friends. I said to my
Yeah,
friends,
exactly.
I said to them, I don't want to be around alcohol, and they said,
because
all right, that's fine. But the only setting you'll see us in is probably where alcohol is. I was like, that's fine.
He's
have
talking
friends
about
who
bots. He's talking about bots.
So yeah,
no, FYI, I have friends.
that's
who
why.
drink,
That's why.
and
That's why.
anytime
That's
I'm
sorry.
around, they don't
That's why.
drink. Sorry,
That's why.
sorry to.
No,
Hey,
go ahead.
Candina, you
Babies
don't
don't
need to
drink.
worry about bots. To be fair, if he's gonna spike your food with anything, it's gonna be baby oil, bro.
No, I can't lie. If someone
That's true.
spikes my drink, I will be fuming. I will get in a scrap. I
nah,
don't care if you're my
coconut
best
milk,
friend.
bro.
I'll punch you up.
Or
If
baking
someone
And a,
soda.
and
spikes my
a, and a
drink,
dash and
I'll
a dash of
punch you
baking
up.
powder too.
And a dash of baking powder.
Fam, is just man as these guys. I should have known the moment you bring Fam in, the stream is gonna go left. But anyway, wrap up. This kid was supposed to go to PSG. He was also supposed to go to Barcelona, but Real Madrid just hijacked the deal. If you look at guys, I don't want to show the compilation, but if you see the compilation, Lamine Yamal has got some competition if he can do it in La Liga. If this Franco Mastantuono guy actually turns up. Also, it also begs the question: what's going on with Rodrigo? Is he gonna go to Arsenal? Yeah, what are you talking about baking powder, man? Come on, man. We trying to talk football. You guys. Oh Lord. When the stream goes left, it's so hard to bring it back, What happened to Arda Guyer? That's a very good question. The Real Madrid correspondent can tell us that as well,
Mhm.
Coutinho.
He's not getting played. It's Carlo, man. He's the anti-youth. You know how it's like at the Antichrist? He's the anti-youth. And you've got another guy in Pep Guardiola who's the anti-youth as well. Like, I don't know how we're still buying young ballers. Like, I don't know how they're still coming and they think they're going to get a chance. Like, don't come to the club. Seriously. You're not going to get any chance. You're going to end up getting sold for profit, and that's it. And that's like, if I would want them at my club if they're going to actually get given a chance, but the problem is they're not going to get given a chance. It's going to be like a Cole Palmer situation. And like, I don't know if you've seen I think you pulled up the quote, you saying he doesn't consider himself as a Champions League winner because he didn't really contribute as much. So yeah. That's why if we're gonna get youngsters, fair enough.
Yeah.
But at least give them a chance. If you're not, then there's no point of you coming to destroy your career. That's why there's this guy called Echeverry. Barcelona wanted him, and I think he would have. And the problem is they couldn't afford him to pay the release clause. and we managed to get him. And I'm worried he's going to get loaned out, and we're never going to see him. The same thing happened to this guy who balled out in pre-season last season, Maximo Peroni, who plays under Fabregas.
Yeah.
Absolute baller, and he was singing his praises. And the thing is now he's going to get sold off. They're going to make it permanent. And yeah, and after seeing all those grandfathers / uncles in our midfield, how he never got a chance was absolutely mind-baffling for me.
But you got nothing to worry about, bro. 3, here we goes. Really quickly.
Yes, but the problem is we still have the grandpas and uncles at my club. At least one uncle and one grandpa is still injured, and he's probably out for he's out for 3 months, so we won't see him until September. And yes, Courts, my bed is done.
There's a question for you right there.
So, like, you're obsessed with my bed, Courts. You're obsessed with my bed.
Hey yo.
You're obsessed with my bed. I don't know what is wrong with you, man.
All right, I'll let you and Quartz have your space, bro. Don't forget.
I don't know why you're obsessed with my bed. I don't know why he's obsessed with my bed. I generally don't understand. But yeah, I rebuke it. What do you mean rebuke? I don't know what rebuke means. I don't want to rebuke it. 3 here it goes, and Pepe a clone Pep. Oh, you mean Pep Linders, the former assistant of Jurgen Klopp? Yeah, he's a good assistant coach. Yeah, he's good at set pieces as well. So, and we got their like data analyst James French. So yeah,
we will be there. We will be there.